Okay, so we have a Millsorp World Patreon member Discord exclusive. I have in front of me a very long box for a very short rifle. This is a M95. This will be my 12th M95. Everybody knows I'm the M95 guy. Aaron, everybody. Right now we're live streaming this to our Discord members. If you are not a member of our Discord, you need to join us on Patreon. Any support will get you access to the Discord. And yeah. Anyway, so I bought this rifle from RTI. This is one of their lottery rifles. This is from the Ethiopian cache. This is an M95 Stützen with an 8x50R. I did not pay anything for hand select. I did not pay for anything special as far as selecting the manufacturer. I paid $200 plus about $30 shipping and then $20 to transfer it. So I'm in this for about $250, which I couldn't say no for an M95 Stützen in an original 8x50R. Here we are. Now I'm going to tell you, everybody, this is not I have not looked at the rifle closely. When I got to the gun shop, they had already taken it out to inspect it to make sure it wasn't broken. So there's no packaging. That it did have bubble wrap around it and everything like that. They just took it off. So nobody freak out saying, "Oh my God, RTI doesn't pack anything in their boxes." So it's just a rifle. All right, and I'm gonna have people asking me questions in the Discord, so I'm gonna be answering them. So I'm gonna be looking back and forth at my two cameras here. So, all right, let's get this out of here. That box was entirely too long for this rifle. All right. Well, I can already tell it's dirty. I can feel it in my hands. Looking at this, it does not have a banded front sight, so that's interesting. That's my first rifle to not have one. The stacking rod is bent pretty good. Looks like it has the correct Stützen short rifle. Oh, I see this is missing. I have another rifle like this. This is a little clip that goes on here with two little screws. I have another rifle just like this that it's missing. I don't know why they would take that off, but that seems to be a common thing. Trying to see if I can see. I do see a number. Let's see if I can see it in the light any better. Maybe 17? I don't know. It's kind of worn off. It doesn't look like, it's hard to see it in the video, I understand. But it's not wire wheeled like I've seen other ones. I can quite clearly see this is Budapest. So this is a nice Budapest Stützen, which is great. I don't see anything missing except for that little piece so far. Let me see the serials here. Oh, nice. Roll stamped matching receiver and barrel serials, meaning this is originally this configuration of this rifle. I don't know if I can get that on the camera. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to show up, I don't think. Well, no, they're too small. But the stock serial has been obliterated. I can see the remains of maybe a 0, which would be correct if it was the last digit, so I don't know. Who knows? The stock serial is pretty much just gone. There's nothing here. There's just the tiniest imprint of some numbers here. It looks like somebody got a little bored in Ethiopia and scratched their own AOI stamp on here. That is not the official stamp from Italy. That is definitely carved into the wood. Actually, the eye is pretty deeply carved into the wood and has been there a long time. There's a lot of dirt and wear built up around it, so that's been there a long time. I don't see any cracks. Nothing appears to be missing. Check it down the barrel. Barrel's not obstructed. It is dirty. Dirty as one would expect, but I do see rifling. I don't see a bolt serial. That's good. This bolt is, funky. This is nasty. I'm about to do something that's going to hurt everybody's hands that has ever dealt with an M95. Yeah, you do it by hand. Oh, see? Even I mess it up. Unless it's broken. Well, it might actually be broken. Yeah, I'm wondering if it is. Yeah. I'll have to check out the bolt. I have one that had the extractor. There was a piece of it broken inside the bolt body. And if it doesn't have enough tension on there, it will not keep it even at rest. Which, that's interesting. We'll see. Oh, look at that. Can you guys see on my hands? I don't have to do the nickel trick. The nickel trick also keeps it open. It's a pretty worn out spring. This one's not hurting my hand at all to do this. And I'm sure you guys can hear it. It's not snapping like the other ones do. This is like clunk. Yeah, you can hear that snap. That's not a snap. So I gotta check that out. But it looks like a bolt otherwise is fine. Dirty. Everything is dirty. Oh, my hands are fucking... Can you guys see my hands? You see this? I swear I had nothing on my hands at first. This is like there's black all over it. This is from the bolt. Yeah, I can't get this to... Yep. It's not wanting to stay for me. There's something wrong with that. I'll have to check it out. But other than that, internally, the part that I was most concerned about was this inside, the spring inside here. It looks to be fine. I don't see anything missing. I don't see any, like, besides this piece. And I don't see any stock cracks in the usual spots, which would be right here or right here. I don't see that. It's hard to tell exactly what kind of wood this one is. I think this is walnut, but this one is, it doesn't feel like wood. There's no wood grain feel to this. It just feels like dirt. Just feels like grime and dirt. Does anybody have any questions? I think it's walnut, if I had to guess. Well, I don't have a rifle without the banded front sight, which is something that started in the middle of the war. They started putting the banded front sights on because it was easier to snap it back on after they did barrel swaps and stuff like that and replacements. So this is something I don't have. So to have and it has a matching barrel to receiver and roll stamped correctly, so it's not force matched. So this is a original rifle as far as these two parts go. So that probably means that this rear sight is also original too. Probably because they kept this all together. So I have to say this is probably the first actual like original configuration Stützen that I have that's not been modified. It looks like in hardly any way. except for this. So this, the sling point here is a mid-war thing. A lot of people think this is post-war. This is actually mid-war. So this is in 1915, 1916 they start doing this. But that's an interesting thing to see on a rifle like this. And if I had more time, no. If I had something else that I learned recently, in case anybody doesn't know, underneath the butt plate, if you take that off, if it's a early war, pre-war stock, they actually put lightning holes in here. So they cut a hole out in here to hollow out the stock to make it less weighty. So if you take off your butt plate and there's a hole in there, that means it's a pre-war or very early war stock. Around the same time they started doing this reinforcement bolt, they stopped bothering to hollow out the stock because it just took too much time. So most of the late wars and post-war ones that you'll find don't have a hole. So if you find one with a hole, that means it was obviously pre-war or early war. Oh my God, you can see the difference it has, the black. You see the black? Right there. It's all the dirt. It's brown, 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 black. Yeah. You can actually see the yeah. It does not have. I would say it has a nice patina, but not much bluing left. Somebody asked what the throat was, and I don't know. I actually don't have any 8x50R rounds to try to see. The muzzle doesn't look too worn. I don't know if you guys can see that. It doesn't look too bad. Nothing really to look at on that end. I say I'd be pretty happy to buy this again at $250 all in. Heck, I actually did recently put out for my CNR FFL03 again, and I would get this again at $200 for sure. Even if it was non-functioning, I would get it. But this appears to be all not matching. I wouldn't say that, but at least all original. I do see some. I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera, but there's some rust here. As far as what's on the outside of the wood, this appears to be the only active rust that I can find, which is on the front barrel band or the front sling. But I don't see any other real problems with it other than it just being excruciatingly dirty. So I'm in a unique position. So I'm going to probably not recommend RTI to a lot of people. These are going to be rough condition. They're going to be in a dead caliber. These are not going to be for these are not going to be for shooters for the most part, unless you are dedicated to producing a dead caliber, and dedicated to potentially having to do some gunsmithing or to have somebody else do some gunsmithing to fix whatever's broken or missing. So at $200, I think it's a great price. I would buy them again. Would I recommend it to anybody else? If you go in expecting a shooter, I wouldn't do it. Yes, I did see that somebody said that. There is a company that is going to be producing 8x50R shortly. We'll see how that goes. But until then, I don't see these as viable for everyday collectors. But if you want an authentic, if you need like an authentic M95 for your World War I collection, perhaps, this would be a perfect example. This is complete as it was in World War I. It's just dirty. I don't see anything wrong other than that. And then maybe some issues with the bolt, but I've had to deal with this before, so Anybody that has dealt with the M95 bolts, they know they're a little tricky. So, final recommendation, if you are a beginning collector, I wouldn't go in for it. If you're an intermediate collector, potentially, just because it's a good niche rifle, and then it's a good price, it's a great price. I don't think I can find anywhere else where you can find an M95 8x50R rifle for $200. Now, right now they're not $200. As of this recording, it is $300 plus shipping. But this was a sale right before Christmas or right after Christmas, I can't remember. So, as it stands right now, beginner, no. Intermediate, maybe. Advanced, heck yes. I would consider myself advanced, as this is my 12th M95 rifle. Does anybody have any more questions in the Discord? That's fine. I'm not a registered gunsmith. I don't know how it would. The M95 design is actually pretty robust in terms of keeping it locked in place once it's locked in place. As evidenced by the fact that I've had one that had a slam fire, which was an 8x56R, actually. It slam fired on me. I've not heard anything about that. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I don't even know how that would be. I'm trying to think of how that could be possible unless you had. Yeah, it would have to shear the locking lugs off. That's what somebody was saying in our Discord. Yeah, this design is not like, if it's locked into place, then it would have to shear these lugs off of here off, and then that would make it come back, but that would be a lot of force. An 8x50R is not a Magnum cartridge in any means. It's not a hot cartridge at all. So I don't see any validity in that. But once again, I am not a gunsmith or a metallurgist. So like if anybody is concerned about their rifles, I would take it to somebody and get it checked out as best they can, but I have not heard that. All right, any more questions? I think we had a good, I hope we can do this again. Danny is hopefully going to be able to do some for him when he gets more stuff, because Danny gets stuff all the time. I don't. I get M95s. You can really see how much, look at that. You guys see that? How much dirt is on my hand already? Just messing with this bolt. That's what you get when you deal with milsurps from Ethiopia. So, I thank everybody for coming. Hopefully we get to do this again. Danny is going to be able to do stuff from his office. And then hopefully in the future I'll be able to get more M95s. This is my 12th one, so it's going to be a bit before I can get out and do another group video or a group picture with all 12 of them. It's a killer on my back to move them in and out of the house. All right. Does anybody else have anything else? All right. Thanks, guys, for coming.